Welcome everybody to a very special episode on the LA Angels draft-only franchise as we have our first big Major League debut. Jesus Made got the call up to the majors, and there he is making his Major League debut, number one, starting at shortstop, batting leadoff. It was time to call him up. He's up to an 80 overall. And yep, welcome to the show, Jesus Made. Cannot wait to get this episode started. You can see Edgar Mode is our number one prospect, but Made was the number one prospect for the Angels and Major League Baseball until Mota was drafted last year. And Made is ready. Mota needs a little more time to cook. Freddie Lorenz isn't that far off either. So welcome to the show, Jesus Made. I am not planning on showing the entire game. We actually might show more than one game worth with Made, especially if we don't get any hits in this first game. So I will record this game. We're going to watch it CPU versus CPU, and I'll cut it up for highlights and show you anything he does at the bat and in the field. And we will follow him until he gets his first Major League hit. And we won't make you wait for his first Major League home run unless he happens to hit it while I'm recording. But that's the plans for the start of this episode. We're going to show you Jesus Made, and then we'll get into some draft scouting and get us to the draft, because I know that you guys really want to see who we're going to take first overall in this draft. So without further ado, let's hop into this big game. And this is the moment we've been waiting for since we made that trade back in year one, the Major League debut of Jesus Made, facing Dylan Lesko as he takes his first pitch inside for a ball. And he's going to help us on both sides, offense and defense. I don't really see him as being our long-term leadoff hitter, but that's what he's going to do in LA to start his career. As he takes strike one, I just hope that he does well. There's a very outside chance he could get into the Rookie of the Year contest because it's still early in the season, but I don't know if he's going to have enough power for that. The ground ball to third, Braden Taylor snag, throw across, and he grounds out in his first pro at-bat. And we hop ahead to the top of the third. Man on third, two out. Here's a chopper to short. Made scoops, throw across, and he handles his first defensive chance flawlessly. And now we go to the bottom of the third, his second at-bat. As you see right there, he grounded out his first time. Nobody on, two out. We're down 3-0. 0-1 pitch from Lesko. And it's going to be a pop-up in the infield. And Acuna is going to settle under it and have that. So Made is going to go 0 for 2 to start his career. Now we go to the top of the fourth. Nobody on, two out. And there's going to be a ground ball, charge, grab, throw, second chance is fielded flawlessly as well. So not doing it on the offensive side, but handling it on defense. And that was third at bat. Bottom of the sixth, nobody on, one out. Still down 3-0. See if he can find a way to get on base. 2-0 pitch. And that's going to be a pop fly into left field. Palacios is going to have that. And he goes 0 for 3 to start his career. Now we're up again. Bottom of the seventh. Fourth at bat. Sees 0 for 3. Nobody on, two out. Now we're up 4-3. Facing Jeff Criswell. And swing and a miss. And the catcher flips it down to first. And that's going to end the seventh inning as he goes 0 for 4. We've got a home run from Ryan Ward, a 2-run shot, and another 2-run shot from A.J. Vukovic. And we have a 4-3 lead here after 7. And we would hang on and win this game 6-5. Jimenez with the win, Foley with the save, as we win in Made's pro debut. Doesn't get a hit, but we get a win. And the next day, facing Tampa Bay again, top of the first, made on third, two out. Xavier Isaac with the ground ball deep in the hole. Made slides, throws, and he guns him out. Great defensive play to his right there by Made to save a run. Now he's going to lead off here in the bottom of the first, facing Shane McClanahan. You guys know him from my Tampa Bay Rays franchise. 3-0 pitch, and it's inside, so he draws his first walk, gets on base for the first time, does have the ability to steal bags. He's on second now, two out, and Kalai Rosario is going to hit this line drive single to center, and Made is going to come around and score his first Major League run as we take a 1-0 lead here in the first. Now we go to the bottom of the third, 1-1 tie, second plate appearance of the game. See, he walked his first time up, and he's going to swing and miss on a changeup and strike out. So he's 0 for 1 with a walk now. And his next at-bat, we got 2 on, nobody out. 3-2 pitch. And it's a pop fly into center field, and that's going to be caught for the first out. Still hitless in his brief major league career. Now we go to the bottom of the sixth. Next at bat, we're up 5-2 now. One on, nobody out. Still looking for his first major league hit. Brandon Sproat on the mound now as we got to McClanahan. And it's going to be a ground ball at third. Throw to second for one. On to first, and that's a double play. Still hitless in his career. Now we go to the bottom of the eighth. We got one on, nobody out. 3-2 count. Mason Montgomery up. Here's the pitch. There's a line shot down the right field line, and that's going to drop and be a base hit. Cross is going to come around, and he's going to score as we go up 7-3. But Jesus Mate gets his first major league hit, his first major league RBI with that shot. He just dropped into the right field corner. Get the ball. There he goes. First major league hit. And the Angels would go on to win again. So we win the first two games of the series against Tampa Bay. Win 7-3. Manoah with the win. Foley with the save. We've won both games with Jesus Mate in the lineup. And here we are. Third game of this series. Bottom of the seventh. He's already struck out 3 times. Having a rough game in game 3. Facing Caleb Ferguson. And there it goes! Jesus Mate's first major league home run. That was a bomb halfway up the stands in right center field. 432 feet. So we didn't have to wait long. Gets his first career hit in game 2. Gets his first career home run in game 3. And there it is. I thought I was going to have to simulate for a long time to get the hit and the home run, especially the home run. But it only took 3 games as Mate comes through and just drives this pitch to the opposite field. Hopefully he can develop more of that as he gets older and progresses up in his ratings. And in the dugout, everybody's giving the silent treatment. Come on, man, give it to him. Let's go. There we go. Way to go, rookie. And we would win this game as well, and we would sweep the Rays, winning 5-3, as the Angels, on a heater now, won 3 games, all the games that Mate has played at the Major League level, so obviously giving them a big boost. And I want to give you a quick prospect update for the draft. We're about a little over a month away from the draft. We're going to look at this catcher, Freddie Sams, just to make sure he's not someone that we don't want at the first overall pick. Don't expect it to be, but we're going to scout him out anyway. Maybe he surprises me. He's got great contact against lefties and righties, good vision and discipline. His arm's not going to be anything special, but we're going to take a look at him, especially since he's 18 years old. And look at the guys we've already scouted. We got Ricky Garner all the way done. We already mentioned him. We will do D'Angelo Haywood. It's only going to take us 1 week to get him fully scouted. And we'll look at Greg Holman. He's almost done. He's actually from 21 up to 3. It's like a B, could be an A potential here. His biggest problem is going to be his hits allowed. Definitely someone we need to consider at 18 years old. Got Brady Dyer. He's going to be definite B, maybe possibly a low A, somewhere in the 60s. Plays second, short, and third. Decent bat, although that hitting against right-handed contact is horrendous. But he is 18, so got some time. Really good speed and defense, so we can let him, grow down in the minor leagues. And Wilkes, we will scout him for 1 week as well. Only take 1 week at 21 years old. This guy, Jorge Gomez, his hitting doesn't look like it's going to be anything special. Looked at Kevin White at third base. Good power, especially against lefties. Really good defense and speed. It's just his bat's going to take a while. He has no discipline. Matt Swigum, another starting pitcher. Great hits per 9. Doesn't strike out anybody. And home runs allowed. It's going to be his issue. Only a 3-pitch pitcher. Looks more like a reliever, even though he has great stamina. This guy right here with his 99 reaction. Take 10 off that. That puts all his hitting in the 40s and 30s. Nah, no thank you. And this Hoyt Ruth, 5'8" right fielder. Great power, but like I said, 99 speed, 99 stealing. If you just take 10 off of that, now all of his hitting is down in the 30s and low 40s, and yeah, that's going to take way too long. Might take a look at this Jim King, even with the 99s over there. That would put his hitting in the 50s, 60s power against lefties, so that's a possibility. I don't think he's going to be good enough to jump to number 1, though. And pitching side, some other guys. This guy is a guaranteed, I wouldn't say guaranteed B, high C, low B, somewhere in the 70s, Joe Pip. And doesn't strike anybody out, but we're not going to take him first overall. We do have this Marcelo Espinoza, non-rated, just a project at 18 years old. It's another one that would be a project. Those hits per 9 is horrendous as well. We haven't looked at any closers or relievers yet. And we already mentioned Kevin White. There's just not a lot of high outstanding potential in the hitters outside of the very first guy we scouted. And we're just now starting to scout the hitters. So if we find one or two, that would be great. Give us something to look at, because we pick 1, then 40, then 77. So we're going to have a bunch of picks go between the end of the first round and when we actually get to pick again in the second, because all the PPI picks and compensatory picks and all that stuff. So a lot of those relief pitchers are going to be gone. So we need our Discovery Scout to help us out and find some more hitters. And we will keep you updated. And as you saw earlier, Jesus Mate came in and we swept Tampa Bay, won 3 straight. And then we went to Texas. Game 1, he goes 2 for 5, scores a run, no extra base hits, but he does steal a base, gets caught stealing. And we win our 4th in a row. The next day on Saturday, we win 5-3 for our 5th win in a row. He goes 1 for 5 with an RBI, another stolen base. And then we finally lose our first game with Jesus Mate at the Major League level. We lose this one 3-1 as he goes 1 for 4, scores a run, strikes out. And so 5 wins out of 6 games to start his Major League career. I think he's really made a difference on the team already. And you can see we are now 2 games behind the Rangers for 4th place in the American League West. And now the White Sox are a half game behind us in the wild card in the American League. And we're the worst 2 teams in baseball. But we're getting better as we're closing in on the Rangers and possibly the Rays. And I was simulating some games. And we had a stretch here where we lost 3 out of 4, Texas and Padres, but we go to this Minnesota series, and this game 2 was incredible as we pounded out 18 hits. And you see Jesus Mate had a rough game. He went 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts, but we had 3 hits from Fletcher, 3 by Benelis, 3 by Keegan, 3 by Rosario, 2 by Singleton, and 2 by Vukovic. And look at those home runs. Benelis home run, Singleton 2, Kalai Rosario with 3 home runs. And Vukovic added the last one, so we hit 7 home runs in that game, and Kalai Rosario had 3. My goodness. And Bowden Francis gets the win, but just ridiculous 3 home run game by our right fielder at the Major League level. Now we're going to hop down to AAA, where the Bees are taking on Oklahoma City, and we're going to player lock with Edgar Mota. Struggling a little bit right now, down in the 260s, and he's going to be up here with nobody on, nobody out in the second inning, and first pitch down the middle, and we foul out. He's in a bit of a slump right now, and I'm not helping things. All right, back up, 2 on, nobody out here in the 4th, RBI chance. And the 3-1 pitch, and it's shot down the left field line. Is that going to get down? Yes. Oh, just foul. Couldn't quite see it. I was hoping for it. See his replay, inside out this ball. Curving down in the corner, and just foul. All right, 2 on, nobody out, down 1-0, full count. Here's Miller's pitch. It's a line shot up the middle, and it's going to drop, and that's going to get us a run, and this game's going to be tied. There we go. Got to help Mota out myself. He's really struggling in the sim right now. So he's hitting 269, 13 home runs, 51 RBI. And a 1-1 pitch. And it's going to be a fly ball in the right field. And that's going to be the 3rd out. And we're up here in the 9th. See if we can get this rally going. Got 1 on, nobody out, down 3. 3-2 pitch. And it's a high fly ball in the right field, and that's not going to be deep enough. Or is it? It is. Gone! Wow! The outfielder fooled me. The outfielder fooled me, and Edgar Mota hits a pop fly home run, and this is now a 1-run game as he hits his 14th big fly. Looked like he was going to catch it in front of the wall and just kept going. There we go. Look at this replay. I thought I hit it too high, and he's racing back. Looks like he's going to get it, and then it's just gone, and it just carried way over the wall. But the Comets would hang on and win the game 4-3. Miller with the win, Aguiar with the loss, and Kasperius with the save, as we have lost the first 4 games in this series. And we have finally reached draft day. 2027, have the first overall pick. So let's get in here and look at the prospects before we get into the draft. See the number one, clear number one in MLB Draft, and our rank is Ricky Garner, 21-year-old center fielder, can play all three outfield spots, guaranteed B in the 70s. And if you look at his stats, he could come in on the high end of all of those, and that would be great. And if you just take a little bit off, that would still be good. Great defender, great speed, can also swipe some bags, has power against lefties, a little bit less against righties. So, he'll be on the wrong side of the platoon, but, can't give away potential starting right fielder. That's where I would move him. At this point, we already have Nelson Rada in center, so we're looking for that guy that can play right field. And he looks really, really good. Only issue with him is he's 21 years old. And then number one pitcher, number two guy on the board is this Greg Holman, guaranteed B, could be an A, somewhere in the 60s to 70s, left-handed, 18-year-old starting pitcher. Decent stamina. Everything else is really good. Good break and velocity. 4 pitch. He's got two fastballs, a changeup, and a sweeping curve. Hits per nine is his only problem, but he's got decent strikeouts and walks. 18 years old. We also have Brady Dyer. He's in serious contention for this overall pick as well. Can play second, short, and third. And he's a guaranteed B, probably high 60s maybe. We're lucky. Good bat, decent bat, I would say. That contact against righties is terrible. You have to come in on the high side. Really good defense. His fielding itself is not the highest, but great arm strength, so you can slide him over and play third, although he's only 5'7". Great speed and stealing, so he's a strong consideration, but just looking at his hitting and his fielding compared to Ricky Garner, Garner's better, especially on his defensive side. More advanced, but he's also 3 years older. And with all the infielders, we have Made, we have Denzer Guzman, we've got Moda at first base. Do need a third baseman, but Benalis is still young and not doing too poorly. So right now I'm still leaning towards Garner in the outfield. We need better depth out there, need a real right fielder. D'Angelo Hayward would be in consideration, but he's injured, and so I don't know how much that's going to affect his overall ratings. Great stamina, great hits and walks per nine. 4-pitch mix there. Good height at 6'204", but you don't want to take this first overall and have him come in as an 80. Didn't scout Jorge Gomez because his bat is nothing special. Kevin White is a possibility here as a third baseman, but he's not going to be as high as overall. He kind of has the same hitter profile as the center fielder. He's younger age, but we need the outfielder more at this point. Swigum, not going to strike and be out. You got to worry about the home runs allowed. And I think this guy right here, Holman's a better prospect. Let's go through each position. Didn't get in and scout any of the closers except for this non-rated Alexei Ponce, guaranteed B in the 70s as a lefty, great strikeouts. So he's somebody we need to consider with our second or third pick in the draft. Looked at Freddie Sams. Looks like he's going to be a B in the low 60s. Good contact bat, no power, decent defense, but he doesn't have an arm, no speed whatsoever. And we were looking for the number one pick overall, so I didn't get a bunch of these other guys further down scouted. Looked at this Bernardo Cabrera. Really good contact, okay power, can't play defense. And one interesting thing here is he has catcher as a secondary position, but he's not good defensively. And you can see we spent so much time scouting guys at the top of the draft. I didn't get a lot of hitters scouted, and we didn't discover a whole bunch of guys, non-rated guys, through the process. So our Discovery Scout let us down on the hitting side this year, so we're probably going to get a lot of pitching guys in the draft, later in the draft. Did look at this guy. If he's sitting there late in the draft, I would take him just to have another power bat somewhere. But go back to starting pitchers. Holman is a possibility. And then once we get into like here, Espinoza, Camacho, got to get into the 40s because that's where we're going to be making our next pick. Got some non-rated guys that are just long-term prospects. There's an A in the 60s, 23-year-old Jimmy McGinnis, great walks per nine. If he's there with our second-round pick, I would definitely take him if that closer's gone. Another one that's a long-term prospect. So we are going to have some issues with picks later. This guy's going to be a setup guy. That stamina is terrible. So I wouldn't expect, this guy's a B potential, but he's in the 50s at 22. So it's not a great overall draft as we go through. We didn't find a whole lot of depth in this draft. There's another A potential, but he's ranked 41, so he'll probably be gone. So we're going to be very top heavy in this draft. And like I said, I didn't get a bunch of relievers. We would have to guess on them. I'm not opposed to doing that if they're sitting there, but that's where we stand. And I'm going to get these guys put on my board, and then we will hop right into the draft. And here we are, first overall pick in this draft. Already went through the list, so you have Garner, you have Holman, you have Dyer. These are the top 3 guys. And let's get this draft started. And again, like I said, Garner is going to be the most MLB ready. Dyer's going to take 2 or 3 years. And do I want this pitcher with his hits per 9? It's really down to these 2 guys. Do I want to take this 18-year-old that's probably going to take 3 years to be ready to go? Or do I want this 21-year-old who should be ready in 1 year, year and a half? And right now we need bats more than anything else. So without further ado, Ricky Garner, welcome to the Los Angeles Angels. And with the second overall pick, Colorado takes Joey Wilkes, guaranteed B starting pitcher. Good for them. And with the third overall pick, Washington takes DeMarcus Redmond. Looks like a reach to us. And now we have to sit and wait because we don't pick again until the top of the second round. So there's 8 picks beyond this first round. Chris Minoso goes. Not bad, but his bat was going to be in the 30s if you take 10 off. Kincaid, overrated, right fielder. Good power, though. Don't like guys that start with contact that low, especially against righties. There goes Brady Dyer, goes to the Florida Marlins. If his contact was better, we might have taken him. And Hoyt Ruth, the 5'8" right fielder with great power, but with those 99s over there, he's going to be lower, so he's going to be starting with his contact somewhere in the low 40s or the 30s. Ryan Dominguez, overrated, probably a C potential in the 60s at third base, no power at all. Frank Brett, interesting pitcher there, but stamina is going to mean he possibly could just be a reliever. Kevin White, third baseman, the other one we had in consideration with good power, but against lefties, if it was flipped, might have taken him instead. And then the injured D'Angelo Hayward looked really good, but being injured is a big red flag for the first overall pick. Freddie Sams, catcher, no power, noodle arm, not a good combo. Julio Villafuerte, another catcher with tight splits, looks great, but that means he's probably going to be lower than you expect. Another outfielder with a better speed and defense than a bat. And Greg Holman goes to the Mets. Probably asking too much to see him drop all the way to our next pick. Interesting to see what his ratings are. And it is back to us here in the second round. Still have Espinoza, 18th best player on there. Pablo Camacho. Another one's going to be a long-term prospect. Chauncey Cole, probably high C's. Doesn't have much of an upside. Be ready to use much closer to great hits and strikeouts per 9. Great strikeouts and walks per 9. Another one long-term. Another long-term. He's 23, guaranteed A in the 60s. He's 22, guaranteed to be a C in the 70s. And this closer, we don't need him necessarily. We're going to go take Jimmy McGinnis. We're going to take this A potential. should fast rise up into the majors. Might only take a couple of years, and then he'll be good to go. So let's take Jimmy McGinnis as our second pick. Now we wait to see where Espinoza, Camacho, and Fernandez and Ponce go. And Pablo Camacho went to the Mets at 59, so that takes him off the board. And Sean Davis, starting pitcher, goes to the Brewers at 76. And we are now on the board here at 77. And I am not going to mess around. These two guys haven't gone yet. We are going to go take Alexi Ponce. I want to make sure we get this lefty for our bullpen, guaranteed B with high strikeouts. So welcome to the Angels, Alexi Ponce. And we are on the board again here at 107. And we're going to go ahead and just snatch up Marcelo Espinoza, 18-year-old. And he's got some room to grow, and we have time to wait for him. And it's our turn again here at the top of the 5th round. And do we want Eduardo Fernandez, Christopher Hanna, Gregory Parker. And I think best bet here is going to take Eduardo. He's got the most stamina, and just give him time to grow into the role. And it is our last pick of the draft here. Not much left on the board. And I think we're going to go ahead and take Christopher Hanna. He's got the best chance to be a higher overall. So welcome to the team, Christopher Hanna. And we are done with the draft. So we will show you their ratings once we get through the trade deadline. And the Angels are wrapping up the first half of the season. Last game of the series against the White Sox. And I wanted to show you this real quick. Jesus Mate, our rookie shortstop, has a 21-game hitting streak. Had a very slow start to his career, but now he's on fire with a 21-game hit streak. Try and extend that to 22 before we go to the All-Star break. And we're going to quick manage this game so we can see if he extends that to 22 or it stops at 21 before the break. Single by Fletcher. Mate doubles, so it's a 22-game streak. There we go, and it's an RBI. Double by Ward, it's 2-0. Mate up again, 2 on, 1 out here in the second. Grounds out. 3-run shot by Vukovic, though. It's 5-0 Angels. Oscar Colas with an RBI double makes it 6-0. All right, Mate back up, leading off the 4th. 3rd time up in 4 innings. Singles. Steals second. And gets stranded. Solo shot by Franks. He's the other generational player that was taken in the last draft. He's already made it up to the major leagues with the White Sox. Now it's 6-2 lead for the Angels. 2-run shot by Brandon Drury. It's now 8-2. Mate up, 2 on, 1 out again. 3-run shot by Mate. Let's go. 11-2 Angels. Mate 3 for 3 on the day, leading off the 8th. Grounds out. Solo shot by Vukovic. It's 12-2. And the Angels finish off the first half with a big 12-2 win. Gonsolin goes to 5-10. We win the series 2-1, and Jesus Mate right there on the right extends his hit streak to 22 games. Check out this box score. Mate 3 for 4, scores 2 runs, drives in 4, has a double, a home run, and a stolen base. And he made an error. Great start there by Gonsolin. And we finished the first half at 33-63, 25 games back. Rangers got hot while we slowed down. You can see we've given up 458 runs, the most in the division. Got to get our pitching straight. We also only scored 309 runs, 344 winning percentage. We are still not the worst. Half game better than the White Sox. We just beat 2 out of 3. Take a look at our first half stats. David Fletcher leads, hitting 279, 109 hits. Most home runs, John Singleton 12, Clyde Rosario and Ryan Ward 11, Gavin Cross with 10. RBI, Ryan Ward with 42, Cross with 39. Stolen bases, Jesus Madi been up here for all of 34 games, and he leads the team with 15 steals, hitting 273, 5 home runs, 17 RBI. Got to cut down those strikeouts, though. Ryan Ward leads in batting average, then Fletcher, Made. Slugging percentage, have nobody in the 500s. Got to get that improved, and we will once we get Edgar Mota up here. Pitching side, Bowden Francis, 6-5, 296 ERA. Most innings pitched, best ERA by far. Relief pitchers, Tyson Miller leads with 289 ERA, 62 innings. Got to cut those walks down. Jimenez, 298. Closing side, Foley got his ERA down to 430. That's good. 16 saves. Doesn't have a lot of chances to close games out. And on the AAA side, out at Salt Lake, Leandro Santana, 106 hits, leads the team. He just had a 5-hit game. He's got 44 bags stolen, and we're at the All-Star break. Average is definitely higher than it was last year. Nelson Rada, second on the team with 97 hits, 9 home runs, 43 ribs, 12 steals, hitting 290. Gotta like that. Like I said, he's moved up to a B this year, and he's improved his contact against lefties. Edgar Mota leads the team with 17 home runs, hitting 270, 61 RBI, has 9 steals as well. He's trying to bounce back here. Recent games, he's hitting 268, had a home run and 4 RBIs in his last game, so he's been working his way out of the slump, I'd say, with those, what was that, 4, 5, 8 hits in his last 4 games. He's coming along really strong. Leads again in RBIs, stolen bases. Santana is just blowing everybody away. Rada leading in batting average. Crouch is second. On the pitching side, Freddie Lorenz, 9-4, 215 ERA, 103 whip, 110 strikeouts, 129 innings. Aguiar, 267 ERA. Bremner's brought his down. He's got more strikeouts than innings pitched. Darrow's having a good year, more strikeouts than innings pitched. And George Klassen has blown up lately. Bullpen side, Carson Fulmer's having to actually everybody in this bullpen outside of Danny Young is playing well. And Phil Perez moved into the closer role, 13 saves, 245 ERA, a .78 whip. And down at Double-A, one we're most interested in is Denzer Guzman and Nelson Ling, Dario Laverde, all hitting around 250. Guzman has 10 home runs now. Ling has 14 stolen bases. And the pitching side, Frank Terry, 8-3 with a 283 ERA. Richard Duke, 6-3 with a 283 ERA. Sam Espinoza, 316 ERA. Got to get the walks down with these two guys. Reliever side, Erla, the converted starter, 244. Casto, one of our draft picks, 251. And our closer, Darryl Bove, 24 saves, 274 ERA, 60 strikeouts, and 46 innings. So there's your stat update at the All-Star break. And our lone All-Star game representative is second baseman David Fletcher. And we'll just sim this game, and if he does anything special, I'll come back with the box score. And the National League would win the All-Star game 2-1 as I got 2 runs off Josh Hader in the bottom of the 9th inning. And our guy, David Fletcher, 1-for-1 with a single. And that was it, as we lost the game. And in the Futures game, Freddie Lorenz is our only pitcher, and he's going to start this game for the American League. And on the hitting side, Edgar Mota is our only position player, so we will sim through this real quick. If they do anything special, I will pop in and show you the highlight. And right off the rip, Freddie gives up a home run to start the game. And we put up a 3 spot here in the top of the 5th. We have bases loaded, 1 out, Edgar Mota up. Let's go watch. Here at Busch Stadium for the Futures game, same place we had the All-Star game. Here's a high fly ball in the deep left center field, back to the track, to the wall. Gone, a grand slam, Edgar Mota, there we go. Opposite field power on display, just like his first at-bat this year in AAA. And he gets a grand slam in the Futures game. How about that? Look at this replay from the drone camera. High towering shot into the left field bullpen here at Busch. And Walker Jenkins would add a 2-out triple to make it 8-4 American League. And Stevenson with a 2-run shot. It's 10-4 American League. Look at that. We put up a 10 spot in the 5th inning. Amazing. And Moda leads off the 7th with his second hit. And Moda up one last time here in the 9th. Flies out, so he goes 2 for 5 with a grand slam. And the American League wins 10-5 on the shoulders of Edgar Moda's big bat. That grand slam broke this game wide open. Look at this box score. Moda 2 for 5. Grand slam, 4 RBI. Has to be the player of the game. And the first game out of the break, taking on the Mariners at home, and Jesus Mate trying to extend that streak to 23 games. John Singleton also has a 12-game hit streak for the Angels. And Singleton would extend the streak with a solo shot here in the 2nd to tie the game. And Jesus Mate 0 for 3 on the day. Last chance to get that hit. Bottom of the 8th, down 4-3. 2 outs, nobody on. Matt Brash on the mound. 0-1 pitch. There's a shot into short right field, and it's going to be caught. And unless we tie this game into extra innings, his hit streak is done. And the Angels would lose 6-3, and Jesus Mate takes a big 0 for 4, and his hit streak stops at 22 games. Singleton 2 for 3 with a home run, and his is extended now to 13 games. And Edgar Moda had a very hot start to his professional career. Then he slowed down, had a slump in May, and now he's rebounded here in July in his last 10 games, hitting .341, slugging .634, and we're going to take advantage of him getting hot, especially with that grand slam he hit in the Futures game, and we're going to get a couple of games of player lock on him and just watch him bat and see if he can improve on these numbers. I'm still debating on whether we're going to mess around and bring him up in September or just let him stay in the minors the entire year and then invite him to spring training with a shot to win the starting first base job. There's another player on here that I am definitely going to be bringing up, and that is Freddie Lorenz. You can see Freddie's 10-4 with a 2.19 ERA, a 1.0 whip. And in his last 10 starts, he's 6-1 with a 1.94 ERA, 61 strikeouts, 69 innings, only allowed 46 hits. So Freddie Lorenz has definitely earned a bump up to the major leagues, and we will call him up with our September call-up and put him in rotation for the last month of the season. So next episode, make sure you tune in for that. We will have an entire game worth of action for Freddie Lorenz in his major league debut. I'm not sure how much other action you will see in that episode. Kind of depends on how the season's going, but Freddie Lorenz will definitely be called up in the next episode. So let's finish off this one here, and we will watch Edgar Moda play. I will probably also hop back to the major league side, watch Jesus Mate as he is hitting .246, 15 stolen bases, and he's hit a little bit of a slump himself here, hitting .227 since the early part of July, since the All-Star break. So maybe we can get him jump-started as well. Had that 22-game hit streak snapped right here, and he has not done much since then. So let's get into some games here, and we'll watch Edgar Moda and Jesus Mate get some game action in to wrap up this episode. And our Salt Lake Bees are at Las Vegas taking on the Aviators. Hopefully we can get some good action here for you for Edgar Moda. See, we're 61-39, having a great season. And we'll pick things up here in the top of the second inning. We went down 1-2-3. Actually, both teams did. So let's hop in here and see what Edgar can do against Moises Chase. There he is, 273, up to 19 home runs, 65 ribs. Should be primed for a good rookie season next year at the major league level. Can't wait to get his bat up to the major leagues. That's a strike. Our offense is severely lacking with middle of the bat power. And he swings over it for a strike two. And we have Ryan Ward and John Singleton right now holding down the fort, but we need somebody with true 35 to 40 home run power in the middle of that order. There's a shot down the left field line, hooking and foul off the side wall. All right, Edgar counts even to 2. Put this ball in play. It's a high fly ball into right field, and it's not going to be too deep, and it's going to be caught for the first out. And Kevin Parado would drive in the first run of the game with a double. And here we are, top of the fourth. Moda leading off the inning again. Salt Lake clinging to this 1-0 lead at first pitch inside. See, he's having a okay series, 5 for 19. Actually, that's almost 1 for 20, or that's almost a 200 average. My math on the fly there, sorry. Kind of surprising that he's getting so many stolen bases as well, since it's only a 50 stolen base. Here's a shot into deep right center field. That's going to go all the way off the wall. One hop, throw comes back in, and Moda gets us going with a leadoff double here in the fourth inning. That's what we want to see. His 20th double of the season. See his replay. Drives this pitch deep into right center field. Looks like the wind was blowing in too. Wind's blowing out. That ball's out of here. And Moda would be stranded after that double. He did not score, so we're at the top of the sixth inning. Still 1-0 Salt Lake. Edgar leading off the inning again for the third time this game. So now we worked it full. Nobody on, nobody out here in the sixth. 1-0 game. Tyler Bremner pitching a gem. And there's a pop-up on the infield, and the catcher's going to hop out there in front of the plate. And he's going to have that for the first out. And Darryl Hernandez with a 2-run shot puts the Aviators up 2-1 here in the bottom of the seventh inning. And after Rodriguez leadoff single here in the top of the eighth, Moda comes up now, tying run on, nobody out. Takes strike one. See, 1 for 3 with that double. Looking for another extra base hit here. Take a big fly, shoot this to left center field. 0-1 pitch. That's high for a ball. And you saw in the draft, I took that 21-year-old outfielder over the young infielder, and there's a tapper foul. I want to get as many bats at the major league level. Plus, you can't pass up a guy that can play that kind of defense and put them in right field, use that arm. But try and surround Made and Moda with as much talent as we can. Here's a high fly ball, pop fly, shallow left center field, and caught by the shortstop. Hernandez, great running catch. And that's the first out. And Las Vegas would hang on and win the game 2-1 as Tyler Bremner threw a gem and got a tough luck loss as our offense really didn't show up. We still lead this series 3-2 with final game coming up tomorrow. And that Sunday game, we would win 2-0. Take a look at this box score real quick. Moda got the day off. Biggio playing first base. But Freddie Lorenz goes to 11-4, 7 shutout innings, drops his ERA to 2.08, fully earning this trip to the major leagues once we get to September. And Phil Perez, 16th save. Great performance this year by him. Glad we moved him into the closer role. And we have a big series here against Tacoma. We are 1 game back in the standings. We have 6 games at home. Game 1, Julian Aguilar against Jimmy Joyce. We're going to hop in and watch Edgar Moda and see if he can provide some fireworks there. We're probably going to look at least one more game in this series with Moda. And we may even look at Freddie Lorenz's start back here on the 31st of July. But let's hop in and watch Edgar first. And we got first at-bat here from Moda. We got a man on second with 2 out. Santana walked and stole second base. So let's check out this first at-bat by Edgar. All right, got that man in scoring position. Need to jump on these guys early. Here's the pitch from Joyce. And he just misses this ball. Edgar hitting 273, 19-65. Looking for that 20th home run. He's already got 20 doubles. Moda's worked the count full. We got speed out at second base in Santana. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 right down the middle. Fooled him with a high fastball. And the Rainiers take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the third with a 2-out triple by Williamson. And then a single by Davidson makes it 2-0. And it's still 2-0 here in bottom of the fourth. Edgar Moda leading things off here. He's going to hit a fly ball in the straightaway center field. It's a very deep center field. As you see, it's 420. And that's going to be the first out of the inning. And we'll pick it up again here in the bottom of the sixth. Nobody on, 1 out. Still trailing 2-0. Strike 1. Big series between these two teams. And the 0-1 pitch. That's popped up behind third base in the outfield grass. Shortstop. Emerson's got it, and that'll be the second out. And David Calabrese, after 2 walks, gets an RBI single. It's a 2-1 game. And Moda back up here, bottom of the eighth. Jose Rodriguez, leadoff single to start the inning. And here's a shot over third base, down in the left field corner. Rodriguez around second, on his way to third. Throw comes back in, and he's in. So we got men at second and third now, nobody out. Tying run 90 feet away. Right there is our go-ahead run sitting at second base. Let's go, boys. That'll bring in Gabriel Rincones. He strikes out for the first out. Parada pops out. Calabrese flies out, and we waste that chance. And Tacoma would hang on and win the game 2-1 as Jimmy Joyce goes to 11-2. We had 2 men on and couldn't get Moda up. He was on deck with the tying and winning runs on base. So we dropped this first game of the series and dropped 2 games back in the standings. Now we're going to jump up to the major leagues. Watch this game. Angels against the Astros. You can see we already have 71 losses. And we're going to watch Jesus Made bat in this game. David Fletcher made an out as the leadoff man, so we have nobody on and 1 out. And he takes the pitch right down the middle. See, they're in the wild card race, and we are in the race for the number 1 pick again. Made down to 240. And he hits that one foul down the third base side. A little bit streaky right now at the major league level. Slow start, got hot. Now he's slow again. Kind of expect that with these young players. Doesn't have contact up in the 70s yet, so. And he swings and misses and strikes out on a high fastball, and that's the second out here in the first inning. And Made will lead things off here in the top of the 4th. There's only 1 hit in the game for both teams. We don't have one yet, and he's going to try and bunt his way on, and that's just foul. But he used that speed to his advantage, just couldn't keep it fair. Now he's down in a count 0-1. Here's a pitch from Wesneski, and that's way outside for ball 1. See, Made leads the team with 15 steals, giving them a big injection of speed at this level. There's ball 2. And the 2-1 pitch from Wesneski. Low, that's ball 3. We'll take that walk. Pinellas on deck, see his numbers on the year. Now the 3-2 pitch to Made. And caught the edge, strike 3 as he goes down looking. And Made's back up here again in the top of the 6th. We have 1 on and 2 out, still looking for our first hit of the day. Strike right down the middle. Gavin Cross drew a walk, and he was forced. So now we have, I believe it's Vukovic at first base. Got a battle going on here. Made's fouled off 4 pitches in a row. 2-2 count. 1 on, 2 out. Here's a pitch. And inside the third base bag, and it's going to be the first hit of the game for the Angels. We break up the no-hitter. We'll have men on first and second now with 2 out. There we go, Jesus. Break up that no-no. And Kalai Rosario breaks up the shutout, gets our second hit of the game as Ryan Barucki just came in the game to relieve Wesniewski, and Rosario hits a solo shot. We're up 1-0 very late in this game. And Made steps in now. He's 1 for 3 with a single, broke up the no-hitter. Got a man on first and 2 out here in the 8th, trying to keep this inning alive. And here's the 1-2 pitch from Barucki, and he swings and misses and ties him up. Strike 3, but we get on the board with that solo shot. We lead 1-0. And Ryan Ward makes it 3-0 with a 2-run shot off A.J. Bluebaugh. And Joe Jimenez and Jason Foley come in and slam the door and get the win for Ben Lively. Foley's 19th save as we even up this series at 1 game apiece. Angels offense got started late, but they did just enough to get this dub. And we would lose 5-4 in game 2 of the series against Tacoma. Look at this box score. Moda had an RBI double. Looks like he drove home 2. Got a walk as well. Clausen didn't pitch poorly, but Victor Gonzalez gave up 2, and then Phil Perez took the loss. On the Major League side, we would win game 3 and take the series from the Astros, winning 3-2. Jesus Made goes 0 for 3 with a strikeout, but A.J. Vukovic with a 3-run shot was all the runs we needed as Bowden Francis only gave up 1 run over 5 innings. Bullpen hold the fort, and Jason Foley gives up a run, but he gets his 20th save as we beat Hunter Brown. Gave up 3 runs. Remember, he pitched a gem against us on opening day. And game 3 against Tacoma, Victor Medeiros against Jack Cushing, and we will watch Edgar Moda one more time. And Moda up now, man on second, 2 out here in the first. Santana got on, stole his 50th base of the season. Moda is trying to drive him in as he drives that one back to the backstop. Still looking for that 20th home run. What a breakout season stealing bags for Santana, though. 50 steals. We're not even done with July. There's the 0-1 pitch. And there he goes. Throw down, and he's safe. Stolen base number 51. Super aggressive. Gotta love that. See the replay. Gets a good jump. He's a big boy, too, 6'4", and he's in there easily. Now Moda works the count to 3-1. Got to sit on a fastball here. See if you can drive this into the gap somewhere. Here's the pitch, and it's inside for ball 4. So we're going to minute the corners and 2 out for Gabriel Rincones Jr. Here's Rincones hitting .222 with 9 home runs, 32 ribs. Bit of a disappointment. Expected more out of him, especially at the AAA level. Heading to count 1-0, though. Looking to drive in the first run of the game. There's ball 2. Now Cushing's 2-0 pitch. There's a shot into left field down the line. Racing over to left fielder, and he's got it, and that's the 3rd out. And Moda's back up here in the bottom of the 3rd. Nobody on and 2 out. Takes a strike right down the middle. He's going to have to do some 2-out magic here. Big fly would go a long way. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a fly ball down the right field line, out of play. All right, down 0-2. Here's the pitch, and he chases a fastball off the plate and strikes out to end the inning. And Ryan Bliss, RBI double, drives home 2. Those 3 hits in this inning are the first hits the Rainiers have had all game. And Pete with another RBI double for the Rainiers. They're up 4-0. All right, Jose Rodriguez led off the bottom of the 6th with a single. Trying to bounce back, down 4-0. Need something quick. Moda 0 for 1 with a walk. Rodriguez led off the inning with a single. Looking to get back in this game. We've given up 2 two-run doubles. Here's a 1-0 pitch from Cushing. There's a high fly ball in the deep right center field. Back to the track, to the wall, and gone! There we go! Edgar Moda cuts this lead in half, gets his 20th home run, 444 feet. To deep right center field. There we go. Yeah, shake your head. That's what we need. Need more of that. Looking for that at the Major League level next year. See this replay. Right down the middle. Full extension. And he hit the piss out of that one. Bam. Towering shot. Into the wind. Now Moda up one more time. Nobody on, 2 out here. Bottom of the 8th, still trailing 4-2.
Nope, that's down.
He's 3 for 9 in the series. That home run and 4 RBIs. Got the count even at 2-2. Moda trying to get something started late. And he swings and misses and strikes out on a high fastball. And Tacoma hangs on to win 4-2. Colin Snyder getting his 20th save as they take the first 3 games of the series. And now we are 4 games back in the division. And we're going to jump back up to the Major League side and watch Jesus Mate as the A's come to town for a 4-game series. And the A's failed to score in the top half. Fletcher led off with an out, so Mate's up. Nobody on, 1 out. See what he's done on the season. 19 runs scored, 15 steals. Average dropped. It's in the high 240s. Now it's in the high 230s. Got to get him going again. Struggling since that hitting streak stopped. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Way out in front of that sinker. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Severino. Swings and misses on a high fastball and strikes out for the 2nd out. And Kalai Rosario gets us off to a 2-0 lead after a Ryan Ward walk. Rosario with a 2-run shot off Severino. There we go. And now it's time for Mate's 2nd at-bat of the game. Nobody on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. As he fouls that off to the left side. Strikeout totals are highly elevated at this level, but it's expected. He's a young player. Got a lot of Major League pitchers that are better than him, honestly. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And it's going to be a rocket into right field. And there we go. There's a base hit. Maybe they'll get him going. And get him to steal a bag here and generate some 2-out offense. And Mate does steal 2nd. And he's caught stealing 3rd. A little too aggressive. And here's Mate's 3rd at-bat of the game. Fletcher, 1-out single. Standing on first base now. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. See, 1 for 2, single and stolen base and a caught stealing. A little too aggressive. Got his 16th stolen base, though. Should easily get over 20 this year. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fly ball down the left field line, curving towards the stands, and out of play. Butler had a chance. Made's worked the count even at 2. 1 on, 1 out. Here in the 6th, up 2-0. Here's the pitch. And check swing. Did he go? Yes, they did. Said he went around this time. Thought he went around earlier in the at-bat. And the Angels hang on and win this game 2-0. Manoah pitched a great game. Jason Foley finishes off for his 21st save as we get the first game of this series. Got to see Made get a hit and a steal as well. And I know I said Freddie Lorenz is getting the call up to the majors in September, and this is going to solidify it right here. This start on Saturday against Tacoma. Throws a 5-hitter, no runs allowed, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. He's 12-4 on the season with a 1.97 ERA. He is most definitely ready for the major leagues. And the day before that, check this out. Edgar Mota goes 4 for 5, hits a home run, drives in 3 runs. And we get the late win on that one. And we have made it through the trade deadline. Obviously, we didn't make any deals, but now we can look at our draft picks and see how well or poorly we did. Let's take a look real quick here. And Ricky Garner, 87 potential, 73 overall. He's not an A, but he's a very high B. Like I said, he's got better splits against lefties and righties. We can work on that. Really good defense, great speed. It's going to be another stolen base guy, and can't wait to get him into the majors. We'll spend probably all of next year in AAA and let him go and see where he ends up after that. Jimmy McGinnis, an A, 64 overall. Great walks per 9. He's going to sim really well. Only bad thing about him is he's 23 years old. Big boy, 6'5", 243. Alexei Ponce, the non-rated closing pitcher we discovered. 81 potential, 70 overall. Walks per 9 needs to be improved, but everything else looks pretty good. And he's a lefty. Marcelo Espinoza, 83 potential, 59 overall. Just need to get him into our minor leagues and let him build up. I don't like his stamina too much. He might end up being moved to a reliever at some point. Eduardo Fernandez, 78 overall. He's just going to take a while to build up, but he is a left-handed pitcher. And Christopher Hanna, 87 potential, 49 overall. He's going to take forever as well. So, what is that? 4 Bs and an A, 1 C. So, let's see what else is out there. See if we should have taken someone other than Ricky. There's R.D. Gloss, 90 potential, 60 overall. There's another 92 way down there. These guys, these high potential guys that are very low overall, are going to take forever to get anywhere in the majors. Brady Dyer, shortstop, we thought about him. 94 potential, 69 overall. Looks almost just like our outfielder. So basically, he has lower durability, so he's going to be injury prone. So very similar players. We just went with the older guy, slightly higher overall right now, and strong right fielder. Holman, we thought about him. He went way later than I expected. 89 potential, 66 overall. Just going to be hits per 9. It's going to be his problem. They also got 88 overall, 88 potential. Pablo Camacho, terrible hits per 9. Anybody else? 85, 88 starter, 92 reliever way down here. Chris Minoso, 58, can't hit. Ruth, all power, that's it. Well, all power and speed. He's got an arm, but his fielding is kind of His hitting. Look at the vision, discipline, and clutch. Jeez. Freddie Sams, good contact, no arm, no speed. Clyde Parks, I don't think we looked at him. 92, Luke Grace, 64 overall. He's got okay power, great contact, vision, discipline, clutch. And oh, look at that. He's got catcher as a secondary. So he played first catcher in right field. That's very interesting. 64 overall, 92 potential. I don't think I even scouted him because he was so far down and I didn't like his power. Could have used him as a catcher, but that's okay. And then they get this 88 potential reliever. Another first baseman. Cheney, 85-62. Can't hit. Another closer. Another center fielder with low overall. Ooh, that was a blown pick. 95 at second base, but he's 56. Going to take forever. 90 right fielder, but he's 50 overall. Brett Gomez. Nope. Kevin White. All his powers against lefties. We don't face that many lefties. 86 starter and Mata. 63, 87. 44 durability, so he's going to be injured. So, yeah, looks like we did the best we could. And just missed out getting an A here, but based on what we had in the class, I'll take that, especially since we got this 64-92 with our second pick. So it wasn't as good as last year, but I will definitely take this draft class, and we know Ricky Garner's going to spend at least a year in AAA, and then hopefully we'll see him at the Major League level. And that's going to do it for this episode of the Los Angeles Angels Draft Only Franchise. Appreciate all the support from you guys, and if you like the content, please like, subscribe, comment, share it out, hit that notification bell so you know when next episode goes live. And we already know next episode, Freddie Lorenz will make his Major League debut in September, so don't miss that. You guys take care, and I'll see you soon. Adios.